John. That's you.
Oh, are we on? Okay. All right, cool. Hello. I'm going to be the opposite of Chaz. I won't have a really good story that we'll be like starting up in the middle of. I'm just not going to say anything and sit there like a drooling victim of an Illithid. Speaking of Illithids, we're about to continue on our quest to find out what's going on with that crazy Illithid who survived the explosion that destroyed the inn that you guys all died in and were brought back to life from. And you have been traveling west, as you have been directed by a very lovely lady who also just appeared in the middle of the evening to chase after a porcupine. You fought off some trolls. You did not kill some rust monsters. You let them eat your gold and set them free. And you are now approaching a cottage with a big sign that says "Welcome," and a number of other like fun things that you would see at the doorstep of a house. You know, like the world's best doggo lives here, and wipe your feet, please be neat, and a bunch of other things. It also bears the symbol of the Emerald Enclave, which, for those of you who do not know about the Emerald Enclave, it is a loose affiliation of rangers and druids who like to do nature stuff and get in the way of people who don't like nature stuff. They're kind of like Captain Planet, but with way more rings. This is where you have arrived. What do you do? I should also pull up the module so I can kind of read what's going on here. I'm super prepared today.
And we came here in search of this Illithid, right?
Yes. So the Illithid that you saw, the one that was calling out your name, Jeremy, the one who was staring your table down before the battle of the bar, which ended in your death, has been seen again. It must have been 100 years ago, and it is a surprise to everyone that he's still alive, much less moving around. He was supposed to be dead because half his head blew off.
I mean, supposedly we were dead. For us, it was like yesterday. So
yeah, it's weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. He even has a name. His name is let me pull it up real quick. Klondras, the Illithid guy who was there that time with you guys at the Whistling Wizard's Inn on the outskirts of Unlar.
Jealous of all the fun we were having. It happens all the time.
Right?
All the time.
There we are having fun. Somebody drops an animals.
Let's see here. Just a little bit more about the cottage that you're at here. The cottage was made of timber with a sod roof. There's a small vegetable garden planted on both sides of the cottage. There is a variety of colorful cabbages and leafy vegetables growing, as well as carrots and corn. There is a warm glow coming in from within the cottage, kind of like one of those. Who's the guy who does the paintings with the cottages? And always has a little light in there. And the painting is about the light in the cabin, not the rest of the scenery. Do you guys know who this guy is?
I don't know who that is.
It's some art guy. It smells as if dinner is being prepared inside.
That's amazing.
There's a wooden porch that has the wood welcome burned into the wood and embellished with various colors of quartz. It is in common. And of course, I already spoke of the Emerald Enclave faction crest, which is carved very stylishly into both of the front wood porch posts.
So, being born on Faerun and not, where my parents are from, my parents still told me about mind flayers, and I feel like this doesn't really meet my expectations for what an Illithid's lair would look like. Like, it's a very nice house, and I appreciate it, but I'm curious about this house, and I will bring that up with everyone. I just don't feel like is this the right place? This doesn't seem foreboding at all, and I don't see they're growing vegetables and not like brains in a jar.
Maybe the
Could-
vegetables are used to keep the brains in the jar flavored.
That's true. It could be used as a sort of spice.
I like that.
Prices.
I mean, I don't like that like I would try it, but I think you got it.
Or perhaps, I mean, we have been intrigued by the house. What if it's a trap of sorts? Oh, come look at my lovely vegetables, and then they're invited in for a lovely stew, and then suddenly brain food.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we need to be on our guard, is what you're saying.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
So what do you do?
Well, we could pretend to be salespeople or circus people coming through, and try and just gauge the situation. Not eat anything, just be really careful. We could also we have a herd of alpacas that we came with.
Oh yeah, we do have that.
We could send them into the garden to eat everything and just see what happens.
We
I
could
mean,
be traveling alpaca salesmen.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like this.
uh-huh. We could offer up a little bit of wool, maybe shear one of them.
DM, I
Yeah,
have a question for you.
I like questions.
Would there perchance have been a chance for a short rest?
Did you short rest?
Group?
I'm fine
I
with
feel like yes.
Yeah, I'd imagine so after the night adventure we had.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's perfectly reasonable if during your travel to further west in your search for Klondras, you would have taken a rest. I mean, you are traveling with two warlocks, and that does happen to be a warlock's favorite thing to do. Many naps throughout the day.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Even Sephiroth likes to take naps.
I mean, how do you think I stay super dewy? You have to have
Yeah.
those quick power naps, like a cat. Oh my god, Sephiroth just wants to be a cat.
Right?
Oh my god.
It's actually pronounced Naparoth.
Okay, so then I will look at Jeremy. What's your character's name again?
Urala.
Okay, Urala. I want to walk up to you, like whatever the normal bubble is. I just want to break it just a little bit to be slightly closer than you normally expect, and I want to like a doctor, turn your head up and look at this way, and then turn it this way.
Uh-huh.
And then I want to take my two fingers and pop them right here, and then take a
Huh.
thumb and then pop it here, and I want to
feels kinda good.
cast Intellect Fortress on you.
I don't feel anything.
You don't?
No.
Do you? Okay, I want to. Your mind should be protected.
Oh.
Do you feel
Would I
protected?
feel that?
I could try to do some psychic damage to you, but I don't think I have psychic. I do a lot of necrotic. So for the
I
duration,
mean, as long as you think there's a protection, then I'll believe
yeah,
you.
you're good. You're fine. You're fine.
Excellent.
So you have resisted psychic damage, and you have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws,
Wow.
as long as I maintain concentration up to 1 hour.
Excellent. I'm down with this.
Go get him! Just kind of a quick pat. Just,
Oh, you want me to just... Oh, okay. I'll walk up to the door and knock.
sell the alpacas we don't like.
From behind the door, somewhere in the main quarters of the cottage, you can hear clatter of plates and a very small voice, but very chirpy and cheerful. And he says, "Coming!" And there's a pitter patter of feet, and the door opens. This door is grossly oversized for the size of this creature. He stands roughly about 2 feet tall. He's standing on a little stool. It lets him get access to the latch. He's wearing a ridiculous outfit that seems to have been kind of reassembled from multiple disassembled garments, lots of patchwork, colorful squares. A gnome, bald head, big bushy mustache, and he tilts his head to the side and says, "Yes."
I'm looking ahead, and so therefore I don't like in my peripheral I see him, but I'm waiting for the
he's
like
great look.
to be in front of me, and when it's not, I'll just like I'm taken aback for a moment, and I like am clenching the handle on my mace, and then I happen to look down because there's movement and a voice, and I tilt my head the opposite direction that he's tilting it, or if we were facing the same direction, it would be the same way.
Mm.
And I say, "Is the Illithid of the house home?"
Oh, no, 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 haha, no, no, no.
Are you allowed to make
Klondras?
decisions for the Illithid of the house? Because we are here selling alpacas.
Wool.
And I wink at the group.
Fine, alpaca wool.
And I mean wool of alpacas, which I have heard the Illithid of the house is looking for.
No. The Illithid who came here was looking for a book, I believe, something to do with something in the Underdark. Are you hungry?
I'm gonna like glance over him and look for the brain jars.
Yeah, no brain jars. Inside, there's like everything's pretty meticulous, if not mildly Spartan. So if a Spartan dwelling could be also incredibly chic and comfortable and homey at the same time, it's kind of like that. It's a really comfortable place. It's like going to IKEA. It's like an IKEA store in there. Simple, yet surprisingly large and accommodating.
You know, my fellow sales persons and I are in a hurry because we have many homes to stop by to sell the wool of alpacas. Let me confer with them. Hold,
Oh,
please.
yes. We're having sheep Wellington.
And I'm going to walk over. So the Illithid is either disguised as a very small person, and there's magic that hides the truth of the inside of that building, or we have the wrong house. Or perhaps... Go ahead.
Maybe we should ask if there's neighbors nearby.
Yes.
Maybe we have the wrong house, or maybe he works for the Illithid.
Well, he did say that an
To hide.
Illithid stopped by.
Which means there's evidence here.
I didn't see any brain jars inside, so we might be safe, but there could be magic hiding them.
Okay. I have a plan.
Okay. I'll follow your lead.
Let's
Lean
go.
in real intently.
So what we're going to have to do is get the baby Illithid outside, because it's clearly a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Get the baby Illithid to look at the alpacas. Feel because you can't. That was our problem. We didn't give a sample.
You have to feel the wool.
Okay.
Get it.
Okay.
While that's happening, I and one other person will sneak into the house and look for the telltale brain jars.
I feel like with this magic you have imbued in me, I should probably stay on guard against the baby Illithid.
Right. Here's the thing.
Okay.
The way I plan to sneak, you will not be magicked anymore.
Then I should
I will-
probably go with you.
We probably go together. But you know what?
I'll,
We can sell alpaca wool. We do it all the time, right?
I volunteer to try to sell the Illithid some about alpaca wool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good salesman. I think I've learned a good bit. up to this
Tina,
point.
do you want to go in, or are you also going to be out here?
I'm gonna try to sell alpaca to our
Okay.
newfound friend.
Then I will go with Seth, just to make sure that Seth is safe once the illusion drops and the brain jars show up.
Okay.
I appreciate
If something goes bad, we should have a distraction planned. to get you guys out, maybe.
If you were to take one of your weapons and smash the baby Illithid with it, I think that would be a good distraction.
Great distraction.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Can you do that thing where the alpacas all kind of like, yeah, in chorus, so like we can hear?
Okay. We'll send a message to you guys, and maybe a special whistle.
Okay.
We could
like
come
that.
up with a special whistle, you know, like a sailor's, like.
Okay,
So
Shakal.
we'll
So
use
since you're
him.
gonna be the one who's doing it, you should go lure the baby Illithid out.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
We're gonna go
Well,
and like hide.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
All right.
So if
s-
something goes wrong on your end, will you guys make a sound like,
We will destroy the living shit out of that house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll probably
break
hear
the
screaming.
roof.
Yes.
I will go over to the individual whose home we're about to wreck. Um, excuse me. I have to insist you at least sample some of our wares. It would be real shame if we came through and didn't offer you at least a small something.
Oh, nonsense! They're not even cooked yet.
No, please, come. I insist, and I'll just wrap my arm around him. Start
Oh well, I
dragging him
guess
out.
if you insist. I like it when insisting happens, except that one time when the Illithid came here and made some insisting of his own. Shaved my head. You're not going to shave my head, are you? Do you insist on that? Well, you can't, because I don't have hair.
No, come with me. I'll
Got
guide
it.
him outside and have
You
him.
must.
pet
I'm gonna walk
alpacas.
up and kind of like sort of encroach in this conversation. Say, you must absolutely touch our alpaca wool because it is the finest that you will find around. And even if you have a pause purchasing today, you could let your neighbors know, or you just know that ours is the finest wool, and maybe spread the word because they
Oh,
are fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic, and they're really friendly. They're so
It's
friendly.
almost as if you can feel the personality of each alpaca when you wear a garment made of their own wool. For example, I'll gesture to one of them. Don't remember their names at all. Just- this one here has a bit of almost like a teenage spite to him. So you can feel that emotion when you don the garment. It's not necessarily invasive, really. It's almost like having a child that doesn't care for you too much.
interesting.
So
Uh,
I
yeah,
wear
you know-
that every day. Oh
It kind of like gives you both like a very long, kind of wary look, and mutters something under his breath about perhaps the madness is spreading. But he humors you and goes to pet the alpacas and piddles about, on his little tiny legs, doing his cute little gnome stuff, because that's what gnomes do. They're just small and cute and happy, and they're just do 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 do. He's distracted. Are the two of you sneaking in to this man's house?
We'll cast Greater Invis.
Oh, nice. Is that just on yourself?
I can only do it on me.
Yeah. So by sneaking, it's great that Seth disappears and goes in, because by sneaking, I just wait till he's looking the other way and walk into his house. So not sneaking so much.
I mean,
Are
I'll
you-
grab your hand like a 4-year-old child crossing the street.
Are you the leader, or are you the 4-year-old?
It swishes.
Okay.
This is an
Well then,
ambiguous one.
both of you give me a stealth. Seth, you get advantage because you are greater invisibility.
Yay! Let's see.
Simple challenge, I would say probably 12 so far. Yes, boom. Two of you are easily able to get into the house. The gnome is surrounded by a small pack of alpacas, all of whom tower over him, and he is quite busy chortling as he pets the alpacas and is quite distracted. Inside, again, you're in an IKEA store. It's all very well laid out. The sense of Hygge is very strong here. It's like Frodo Baggins' house meets, I don't know, like ultra modern Scandinavian engineer's office or like an architect's office. You know, the ones that have all the white and like the slick lines. Only it's like a cabin. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I'm totally seeing like Frodo Baggins' house, except for it's all IKEA furniture, and he just has like this glass bowl of the special tool that you need to put them all together. But because he got one with every piece of furniture he bought.
Yeah.
He has 50 of them in the bowl.
Yeah, there's also a sign, made of macrame. This is like Hygge Life, HYGGE. Like just going pure Scandinavian here. And it's a relatively comfortable spot. And there seems to be furniture for creatures of various sizes, accommodating for small-sized creatures, medium-sized creatures, and there is even a large beanbag chair for the occasional visitor who happens to be large. There's a number of doors that lead into other parts of the cabin or the cottage. One appears to lead into a library, which is considerably larger than the exterior of the building might suggest. Another to a bedroom that is very modest and almost monk-like in how Spartan it is. And there is a door that leads to the small kitchen, which has a back door where the outhouse is located. The two of you poking around. Where do you go?
Seth is about to learn. Speaking of Seth is about to learn one of my hidden secrets as I stare at the beanbag and I just have to go and flop on it. It's like one of those things I just can't control, and then I stand up and I'm like, okay, I'm better now.
I get it.
And then I look around for you. Are you still here?
I'm right here. Can't you see it?
Jeez.
Wait, yeah. Sorry.
Where would you like to begin? That is a real beanbag, by the way. It is not a brain jar.
Brain jar? Okay. Glad that we know. There are like windows, right? Like person-sized windows that if, say, we got caught, we could like scramble out.
Yeah. I mean, it's a stock catalog cabin that you can order out of Neverwinter for 300 gold, and it has your 4 stock windows, 2 on either side of the cottage. This one appears to have been modified because obviously subdimensional space is not a normal thing that's added to this sort of prefabricated house. Probably an addition that he did, and most definitely, likely, he does not have the proper permitting paperwork to allow that.
Okay. So I think we should definitely check out that library and the bedroom. I'll do the bedroom.
Okay.
Because it probably has some like sneaky things there. And then you can do the reading book area.
I'll head into the library then.
All right. Library. It is a lot larger than, the size the cottage would lead you to believe. It is definitely some sort of magical pocket. There are enormous bookshelves that span a height that is far beyond this poor gnome's reach. But luckily, there are a few Tensor's floating disc that have been modified to a sense that allows him to access various different spots of the library. Everything is meticulously ordered. There are big books and small books and red books and blue books and new books and old books. Canceled books and not canceled books. It's a big menagerie of books.
I have to say, very impressed because I saw a handout in Neverwinter for these tiny houses Tiny Living, I think, is the company that makes them. And
Yeah.
I thought about buying one, and now I might, because it is actually much more spacious with these add-ons. So,
The kit is separate
books,
from the add-on.
right? I'll just start looking around to see if there's anything that stands out. Anything that happens to have a trail of slime on it that maybe an Illithid might have, been reading through, or anything that just stands out from the order.
Roll me a investigation as you kind of poke around this library. 16. Something catches your eye. It is. Ow! What? Ah! No! It is a dark, like a darkly bound book. It appears to be made out of some kind of leather. It is really, really dark in color, like almost unnaturally dark. And just from a visual inspection, appears to be fairly old and showing signs of weathering, whether just through too much handling or just the passage of time, or both.
I will pull out my cloth gloves, as you should wear for older books like this, and carefully start leafing through it.
Immediately you recognize the handwriting and some of the illustrations in this book. It seems to have been authored by the very same person who authored the documents that you have carried in secret for so long.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting.
I start looking through it more. Are there more positions with the undead that would
Oh
be
yeah. It goes into like gory detail about a whole lot of stuff. Do you speak Abyssal?
You ask good questions. I do.
What? Excellent. Well, then I'll tell you what it says. Let me get to it real quick. Okay. It begins. How I miss the tranquility of the underground lake with its kraken. Of course, like to really do this correctly, it'd be like,
right.
Yeah, but it's quite lovely.
So just imagine you're gargling glass while screaming, Old Norse. Okay, gotcha.
And the shadows on the ceiling from the majestic Dracolich flying overhead, created by the luminous fair's rest. The music from the magical chanting of the something scrolling. Koatoa at their altar still haunts me. The evil cruelty that radiates from the book of vile darkness enthralls my soul. It goes on.
Okay.
Are you going to dedicate time to continuing to read about what's going on in this book? It appears to be some kind of journal.
Okay, yeah, that was my question. Is it journal or is it like a published work? Okay, I will stroll out into the main room while leafing through it and wait for Seth.
Seth, you're in the bedroom. The bedroom is very Spartan, as if it is the resting place of either a very mad person or an academic like Tesla, or a monk who has sworn off all material goods. I mean, which is probably not what this is, because he's clearly got stuff. Why this room is so Spartan is kind of beyond you, but there is absolutely nothing in here besides a very simple straw mattress, a rock for a pillow, and a very thin linen sheet that has been patched many times. It looks like it is well past its expiry date.
I want to rummage through his straw mattress, look underneath his rock, and rip apart the linens.
You find nothing. It is, There's no brain jars. There's no secret missives from demons. It's super Spartan. It's messy now, but it's still very Spartan.
Do I have mending? Because I kind of feel bad now. I don't have mending. No.
Oh
no. I'll just kind of push the straw back and like walk out.
Perfect. You walk out to find the death cleric flipping through a unusually dark looking book, an old looking book, and as she kind of mouths the words of whatever she's reading, it definitely appears that she's mouthing horrible things in any language, and she obviously doesn't see you because you are under the effects of greater invisibility. On the outside, the two of you two, you're hanging out with the gnome who is humoring you and petting alpacas, and he wants to know like what's life like being a alpaca trader, and how many people have you seen, and did you keep an eye out for those rust monsters because they've been a problem.
We actually made friends with a few.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's exciting. How did you do that?
Turns out they really like these, and I'll pull out a few gold coins.
You know, that's the best thing you can do with money is throw them at rust monsters. I always said money is the root of all, well, root of all economic situations. Money is the root of all economic situations. Just ask anybody who had to deal with the Lord's Alliance 50 years ago. There's a book on that. I can show you. The book's on the great economic crash of Baldur's Gate 50 years ago, and the bailout that had to happen with the Masked Lords, who were not in Baldur's Gate. They were in Waterdeep, but it's complicated. The economy is complicated.
That sounds amazing for later, but look at sweet Nancy over here, and I'm just going to keep making up names for these alpacas that we can't remember their names.
Exactly. Sweet Nancy has no worries about the economic issues of the time.
She does not. Creature. It's a life of purity here. She just absolutely is a life of purity, and any kind of coat or sweater or socks made from her wool, I will give you the same kind of feeling. You just put on that sweater and you feel, content and pure.
Like all of your
slightly simple.
Yeah, as if all your worries melt away.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They'd probably be really useful in the winter. You could just cut them straight open and crawl right into the belly. I hear that's quite effective.
I'm not sure it's the same feeling that you would get if you just had a sweater made. Do you know how to knit?
Well, I could learn. I do have a fairly good skill of my own. Mostly cataloging books, and I'm also quite good at reading minds.
That's amazing. I'm going to do a demonstration on knitting. And I'm going to reach into my bag and I'm going to finger knit. And just go very slowly and really kind of feel the zen. But I'm also going to take note that he said mind reading. So I'm going to try and be as calm as possible.
I'll be standing behind the gnome if at all possible.
Sure, yeah, he seems really relaxed. He says, this is all quite fine and good, and by all means, continue with this very fascinating lecture on, what is this, knitting? You said knitting. I probably have books on knitting, but my lamb Wellington is most definitely going to burn, and I don't want to serve you bad lamb Wellington now, should I? No. Come inside. Let's go have ourselves a delicious meal. I'm sure we'll find the rest of your crew in there.
I'd like to knock out the gnome.
Roll to hit.
Understood.
And this is when we find out he's a level 25 archmage.
Oh god.
Maybe, I don't know. I have to check. I was not anticipating that.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Let's see here. Where are you, Gimbal?
Are there any little gnomes nearby that he could use to knock out the gnome?
No, he's the only gnome, and
No
still
garden
scrolling.
gnomes?
Oh,
There, well, he
I
doesn't
do
look like a garden gnome.
have-
No.
I do have 2 attacks per action, so do I roll again? Solid. All right.
That's up to you. Of
What
course.
is the question? Do gnomes have garden gnomes, or do gnomes have like garden humans?
One must
Well,
think about that.
He does not have stats. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna just do this on the fly. It's totally fine. What did you roll?
I rolled a 9 and a 22.
Well, the 13 will hit because he is surprised. The 26 will hit because he is surprised. He was not expecting that. That was not what he was expecting.
I
Yeah.
sensed that he was so enthralled with my finger knitting. So that's amazing. I feel really
Yeah.
good
Go ahead and roll damage on those
God.
attacks.
about it.
That is. Oh, did that not?
No, you click on. So you go to
that's
the.
right. That's right. You
You just click on the monk unarmed strike on the whatever prints out.
Gotcha. That's 7
And 9 will be a total of 16. Yeah, you smack him square in wherever you're aiming for twice. He kind of tumbles over, but he tumbles in a way that is very reminiscent of all of those times that you sparred at the monastery. In fact, he tumbles with a sense of expertise that would imply that he has very similar training to you. He looks surprised and like turns his focus like squarely on you, like gives you a really long look. Are you continuing, or are you? What are you going to do?
People usually go to sleep after that. I'm actually quite embarrassed.
Oh, I mean, I haven't been hit like that in a long time. What school are you from?
I practice the way of shadow. You seem to be a student of Key yourself, or
Yes. We don't use such archaic terms for it, really. I prefer to use the term supergnomish abilities.
Interesting.
Thrilled. I am going to hug him and jump up and down like behind him and just like I'm elated with his cuteness. You are just so strong and so cute. This is amazing.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is great. I knew this would be great fun. Welcome. Now we do have beef Wellington. No, excuse me. Now yesterday was beef. Today is lamb. Tomorrow will be duck. Come. You can tell me all about your monastery, and I'll tell you all about what I'm doing here. And we'll talk shop. It'll be great.
Excellent.
I'm just gonna, do the call. I'm doing the call.
Yes, let us go inside and enjoy a lovely meal. Inside.
Oh, don't worry about it. They'll hear us coming. They know we're on our way.
I'll just be standing in the
follow them
main
around.
Again.
like just
I'm
reading
gonna hug
through.
him again, but I'm gonna turn him around and stick him square in my bosom. Dinner sounds fantastic, right?
Yeah, he tries to say something, but it's all like. I mean, there's definitely like attempted, hand gesticulation because he's just, he's a gnome, and they're all about the, blah.
Can we tell if our guys are coming out at all, or if our crew?
Or they've been standing there invisible watching us for the past 10 minutes.
Right.
Speaking of the two of you who have let yourselves inside this gnome's cottage, there is some sound going on outside.
Yeah.
One of the voices is muffled, and there's some sounds of voices moving in the direction, or were moving in the direction that you guys were at. What do you do?
Is there like a table, like a dining table, or?
Yes.
I'm just going. I
It's
mean,
one
he
of those-
left the door open. Obviously, we weren't going to stand there and wait for him to buy alpaca wool. So I'm just going to sit down and act as though I should be there and continue reading this marvelous book.
Yeah, it's full of horrible things, but yes, very interesting. And Seth?
Seth is on the mission to be the one. But being the one has responsibilities, including not sneaking into someone's house, but not being caught sneaking into someone's house, because that's a scandal. So I will excuse myself, kind of looking over my shoulder and then kind of coughing when I see. Actually, I can't read anything. So as long as they're not pictures, I'm fine.
Oh, there are pictures,
Oh,
and they
God.
are horrifying.
I
There's an illustration that in Abyssal is actually it's described as the old man gets help trick, and it shows kind of in a multiple frame illustration of an old, gnarly, weathered man who appears to be very sick, and then there's like some Boy Scouts, like on the other panel, and they're like trying to help, and then he's like, "Oh, thank you so much," which is like a little like word bubble, but it's also an abyssal, so it looks really evil. And they're like, no problem, sir. We're just here to help. And then he goes, come and have some ice cream. And they're like, oh, we will have ice cream. And then there's the next panel of them all like strung up in some sort of horrible like meat factory where like tubes and hooks and horrible things are attached to them. And they're like, why? And he says, for science. And that is illustration 14 of the book that he's going through right now.
I will attempt to run out before my concentration drops, because that was just such a horrific image, and without context, it just makes it worse. Because I don't know what's happening. Did they know? But what was how? No, I just gotta run out.
All right, so you run out of the back door or the front door?
Whichever door is closest. After seeing that, there is no thinking about stealth anymore.
Sure, we'll put you out the front door. That's where the rest of the people are. As you exit the building, you can see the little gnome pressed up against Adela, who is wildly gesticulating and still talking, just not making any sense whatsoever. The three of you, well, all four of you can smell the lamb Wellington, warmly in the air. There's a little bit of exotic soft spice as well. Probably something brought up from Baldur's Gate, if not maybe even further south. And it's a kind of a weirdly chaotic scene with this baby-sized adult man flailing about. The alpacas all have been fluffed and are looking quite pretty, and have begun to graze confidently against the garden's lush bounty. And the cleric is sitting inside reading some softcore necromantic porn.
And I'll look up and be like, oh, I see that you bought some of the wool. Tina only, has that that I don't even know how to explain it, but she only does that for customers who buy all of the wool. Excellent, excellent. And then I'll just go back to reading.
I'm gonna pinch him on the cheek. That was nice.
Well, I'm so glad to have visitors. You know how long it's been since I've had a visitor? Exactly 2 days. And the last time it was a guy with a squid face, and he wanted to eat my brains. I'm so glad that. Wait, are you an Illithid? You're not an Illithid. You can't be an Illithid. You don't even sound like a Illithid in your brains.
Tell this crazy stranger what a time.
I
Share.
know.
You gotta share.
Oh, you want me to share? I love sharing. I have all sorts of stories. What would you like me to tell you about?
Crazy stranger visit. It sounds so intriguing. We meet so many weird, crazy people. Let's find out.
Oh, let me tell you about the time I almost got eaten by an Illithid. Won't that be fun? Oh, good. Come. I'll serve you dinner. I hope that I wouldn't read that before dinner. It may upset your appetite.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna keep. I can sit over here if my going through it is gonna upset your stomach while you eat.
No. I actually really do enjoy my collection of history of the dark arts, the practice of the dark arts for dummies. I have many wonderful titles in my library, and by all means, do enjoy.
Weird.
But don't blame me. It is, of course, truly nightmare-inducing if you
Where
are not
did you-
careful with material.
Where did you procure it from?
Oh, I have my ways. I am a collector of sorts. I collect books and more books and books. Oh, I just love the smell of them, and I love the look of them, and I love the touch of them, and they're just glorious. I love books.
I am gonna kind of go off to his side and just be like, so I might have a book that you might be interested in. I've read it many times and it's starting to lose its charm for me. I can quote it word for word and picture for picture. Perhaps we could do a trade for this one.
Oh, I couldn't possibly be parting with any of my books. They're like my children, you see. And giving them away would be like selling them to, I don't know, people who don't have the same right intentions.
This would be like swapping children. You know, something that's quite common here on Faerun, correct? No? No, not so much? I apologize.
No.
Think of it as not exactly swapping, but as if he's becoming a regent of your child.
No, the answer is no. No.
I'm gonna pull out the Necromancer's Kama Sutra and just slide it over to him.
His eyes get really big, really fast. And he's like, is that the missing page 14 through 25?
Perhaps. Just watch 16 through 17, maybe a little bit on 18. They might be slightly stuck together. There was some kind of residue that got on them.
Yes, it is very common with this particular author. Very common indeed. In fact, if it's not present, it's not worth as much.
Oh, excellent to know.
Yes. His name, the author, is Simon Tiber. As I'm sure you've already discerned from your reading of that, you do have great fortitude, my dear. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Lamb Wellington?
Sure.
Yes? No? Yay! No?
I
Yes?
don't know what that is, so I'm very intrigued.
You are served a Lamb Wellington. It seems to be the case that there is a perfect number available for all of you.
Weird.
As if somehow he was expecting visitors. He says, well, let me tell you about that author. One of my favorites, his name is Simon Tiber. He's a He's a necromancer, I think, or some kind of wizard. I don't know. I mean, usually wizards who are evil and who draw these sorts of things are necromancers. Ha ha! I mean, unless they're not, and then maybe he's a conjurer or something. I mean, certainly not an abjurer. Abjurers would never dare do that, right? Right?
I just nod along with him.
Let's see here. Oh, yes. He was well known for animating dead, though, and in his journals, he talks very much about how he would turn Boy Scouts into skeletons and have them do mundane tasks like helping people across the street or carrying groceries, as well as building outposts. Somewhere in the forest of Cormanthor, there was what was it? A circle. A circle. It's a magic thing, that you stand on and it takes you places. I forget exactly where it is, but it's somewhere in that book. And something liches, something eternal life, something achieving goals. Yes, and the Book of Vile Darkness. Yes, that's mentioned many times. He's looking for it. It's a fascinating read, really.
Does this have anything to do with the visit you had the other day?
Oh, yes, he was looking for the book. Yes, and he was going to have me for a snack. He shaved my head. I had the most beautiful hair. The most beautiful hair. And it's gone. I mean, until it grows back, and it's fine. Magic can do a lot of things. Can you grow my hair back?
I'm actually looking to see if I can grow your hair back. Hang on.
Just pat his bald head. Just there.
Right.
I'll do the
He
same.
leans into it a little bit.
I can make you think you have your hair back.
Oh,
I mean,
no, I
that
don't
might
need
be
it.
better than nothing.
It will grow back. Of course it'll grow back. I am a relatively young gnome. I'm, 230 years old? I'll be around for another 300 years, and I won't be going gray for another 200 years. Probably at least. Although I am losing small bits of hair on my leg, and it's quite strange. I wonder if it has something to do with the berries I'm eating. I'm not really sure. Perhaps you would know something about that. Oh, and the thing with the thing, like this, who was like, blah, 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 blah. I was reading his mind, and he was definitely talking about a Simon Tiber, who happens to be the same name in that very book. Coincidence? Probably not. That's just kind of how it goes.
Unfortunately, I am not powerful enough to call upon my god to grow your hair back.
I'm gonna cast the minor illusion cantrip and just give him a flowing bit of golden locks.
Nice.
He is surprised. He's a gnome, and think they have a fair bit of experience with illusions. But he does appreciate the effort, and very pointedly says, "No, my hair is black. It is black."
I will
But
recast
this
it.
I've always wanted to have blonde hair, and today, if we're going to be fanciful, let's be fanciful. Let's be fanciful together.
Well, the entire time we're here, I'm just gonna spend because it only lasts a minute. I'm gonna recast it every minute. It's a cantrip, so I'll just recast it every minute, and every time we cast it, it'll be a different color, just red and black and blonde, and then suddenly purple, and we're going through the spectrum of the rainbow.
He is loving it. He serves you food. He gives you dinner. He is a very eccentric gnome who is a bit scattered and really kind of has a weird sense that you're not entirely on the same plane of existence as he is. Half the time he goes off on these tangents talking about random books he has and these amazing things that happen in them. A lot of the things he talks about are dealing with darkness, cults. He brings up the cult of the dragon a few times. He brings up the demon cults that had risen in the Underdark not too long ago. madness, and then is constantly asking you if you are mad. Have you been to the Underdark? What do you think of the Underdark? Would you go to the Underdark? Etc. Are you still reading the book?
Yes.
Perfect. You find a crude map drawn on one page of the journal.
Considering
It
the
shows-
conversations we've been having, what kind of crude map?
It shows an outpost constructed on a trade route
Oh.
between a now non-existent city called Greycott to the southwest of Hillsfar and Hillsfar itself. You know that there is not a road currently existing like the one depicted in the map. It's
Okay.
apparently old intel or an old map.
Okay.
Let's see here. If what you're seeing is correct, you would probably determine that this is pointing to a location directly west or westish from where you are, from your current location. There's some sort of description of a rock formation and a cliff outcropping from which this man, Simon, could watch the comings and goings from his outpost to determine if anyone's following him, as well as collecting more Boy Scouts for his sick and twisted experiments, which eventually turned them into undead servants. There was a tavern that he talks about, how he so loved going to the tavern and being the only one drinking and not having to wait to order drinks. And then there's some sort of reference to a teleportation circle to the Underdark.
Interesting. So I'm going to take the crude map, even though it's not the crude that I was hoping to find in this book, and I'll just like take the crude map, and when the gnome isn't looking, I'll just slide it into my jerkin, and then keep looking through the book, because if he's not going to at least let me borrow this book to read through while he's reading through the book I would be willing to lend him, sticky insides and all, then I at least want to have the map with us.
So you're going to tear the map out of the book.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was a loose map.
No. This book's a journal, so like the map is drawn in the journal.
Okay. I'm going to pull out some parchment and my ink well and pen and just roughly sketch out what's going on with the map.
Yeah, the gnome is totally fine with that. He's super cool with it. He's like, yeah, I mean, that's what I do too. I love copying books. A good book is a copied book, and a copied book is a good book because it is in other people's hands. That's wonderful. But keep the originals, because that's the only way to ensure that the information is correct.
I like this note.
Aha! Do you guys eat your dinner? You hang out with this weirdo? You copy a map? Anything? Any questions for this guy? What are you up to during this dinner?
So why didn't the mindflayer finish his meal?
Well, funny you should ask that, because I was wondering the same thing. But so fate should have had it. Arrows flew in through the window. It's called Deus Ex Machina. Look it up. It's wonderful. And I was right. And there was some ranger guy from the Emerald Enclave, and I'm from the Emerald Enclave, and we were like, hey, we're from the same group. And he's like, yes, I was following this guy. He has tentacles for a face. And I was like, oh my God, he was going to eat my head. And we high-fived, and we had some chicken Wellington. It was lovely.
Interesting. Did
Yes.
he leave this book?
No. That's mine. That's my
Okay.
copy of that book. Yeah. He was looking for that book, though. He said, like, well, hold on. Let me, scrolling up for the specific wording of this. He said, he was looking for a teleportation circle, somewhere that goes to the Lake of Shadows for some Simon Tiber. Oh, I've mentioned him a few times because he's the author of this book. He was looking for this book because it's his master, Simon Tiber. Oh, no. That doesn't sound good at all, does it? Oh, you're in some trouble, aren't you? Something about, oh yes, the Book of Vile Darkness. You're not supposed to actually say that aloud lest you attract his attention, but I'll say it again. It was about the Book of Vile Darkness. As I was reading his thoughts, it was using an area of the ruins to travel between here and the Underdark. He was like, I have to get back home because my dinner will get cold. Whatever that means. Let's see here. Yes, and then the ranger came and shot a volley of arrows, and we high-fived. It was great.
Lucky for you.
Yes.
Nice.
I love it when things work out that way.
Yes.
Yes. Deus ex machina. That's the only way to continue a story sometimes in hopeless situations.
I guess depending on how long we stay. Like, hey guys, how long do you want to stay? Are we invited for the evening to hang out with you?
Oh, of course. We'll have schnapps.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
What are
I'm
Never
gonna
had
schnapps?
set up a little circle for myself on the corner of the room and kind of sit cross-legged, and I would like to try and discuss with my patron in my mind, bringing a friend for me on this journey.
Okay. You reach out, to your patron. You get the typical like busy dial tone, but unlike normal where it just kind of goes on like beep 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 beep, it picks up and it's like, oh god, it's you.
Oh,
Hey, what?
And I'm going to be so excited. Oh, thank goodness. I was hoping you could possibly send us a friend. It would be really nice to travel with them. And it looks like we may be on a quest. So
Yeah,
that's
you're
nice.
always on a quest. You're on a quest to like do cool stuff for me and stuff, and be like, hey, you're so cool, and everybody else, this cat is really cool because I'm a really cool cat. Obviously,
Obviously.
yeah.
Would you like me to do anything else for you in return?
Tell me I'm pretty, and tell everyone else I'm pretty.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Not just
I
pretty,
am.
but beautiful.
Yeah, I'm like the most beautiful cat that ever existed. I mean,
You know, I think I could draw like a little shrine and we can put it in this gentleman's nice yard because it's so beautiful.
that is a plan. Yes. Yes. All of the yes. Yes. Shrines, always.
I will make up
Temples, better. Temples of marble with my face, the best. But we'll start with shrine. I think that's a really good start for you. Yes. What is that about a friend?
I would like an addition, a companion,
A
a
what?
little companion to say hello, and join us on our journey, on our
Well,
quest.
like different than the companions you already have?
They're kind of disengaged.
You need an engaged companion.
Yes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what. I'll tell you this. Because I like you. I mean, I like you more once I have a shrine. And I like you even more once I have a temple made of marble with my face. But for now, I'll just be telling you a little thing that you might want to know.
Okay.
You're going to have some friends here in a little bit.
Fantastic.
They'll be very engaging.
Fantastic. All right. I'm going to get right on that shrine and I will try to do a little bit better every time. How about that? I'll just put them all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Meow and stuff.
Sweet.
Uh,
Thank
and
you.
yeah,
Your
the patron
Eminence.
lead. Excellent. So you all plan to stay in this gnome's house for the evening, get your long rest in, or are you going to continue on in whatever direction you happen to go?
I will be antsy and say we should not stay here too much longer than we have to, because some asshole has been messing around in that bedroom, and we don't want to be blamed for that.
No. As long as I'm just leafing through the book, as long as he doesn't mind us staying here, I'm fine. There's a lot more books in there to check out as well. Oh
I
my.
mean, like, you were that asshole, so if you don't mind,
Oh wow.
and I'll say that part like very loud, like as long as
This part
you
is-
don't mind if you get caught going through his bedroom, then I'm fine with it.
This part is a fold out. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's horrifying. Whatever it is that you're looking at, terrible.
I'm gonna grab parchment and start drawing the most glorious cat that my skill allows me to, but with like a ruffed collar and like
Ooh.
lots of bountiful things underneath it. So there'll be like mice and fish and cool looking, beautiful things, books underneath it, with full intention to stick it in the yard. But I'm gonna show it to our host first. Like, look, check out this glory. Like, it is amazing.
Oh yeah. Roll me a performance. Yeah, performance. Or if you have a higher skill in intelligence, so you can either do an intelligence or a charisma-based performance check
Oh my goodness.
to determine your quality of craft.
We'll do charisma.
Charisma. It's not a bad drawing. It's not something that you would maybe find in a museum, but it does depict exactly what it is that you're looking to depict. Anyone looking at it would be like, yeah, that's a cat with a bounty of things that it has either been given or has killed. It's a rough sketch. It's a good start. Maybe
Okay.
take a little bit of time, to flesh it out, but it's the thought that counts. And probably your patron doesn't necessarily entirely care like how perfect the drawing is. It's really just the fact that his face is out there, and that's all that matters. So the host is quite fascinated, and the meal continues. Seth is looking a little antsy, and the cleric is reading through some juicy morsels in Simon Tiber's journal. And what is the young monk doing?
Trying to get some more information out about him, from about his path.
Oh, he is he's from a very small path that is not very widely spread. It is path of the mind. He is actually he builds his key by reading. He's actually in a book club that can only be accessed by sending one's mind into another plane. So they actually share their book club knowledge while they're in the ethereal or the astral or whatever. He doesn't do it very often because there's not a lot of people who do it, and he doesn't like two of the people who are part of the club because they're two literalists, and none of them really understand like metaphor. He's like, "Do you know what metaphor is? Let me tell you about metaphor." And he goes on for a while about metaphor.
And I will listen intently and take some notes.
Off to the side, I'm
Ask
like,
him-
it's like a parabola. And they continue
Parabolas are
reading.
my favorite. In fact, like when he's talking about various different, grammatical things, like it's almost as if he's doing some kind of weird psychic tai chi. So like his gestures begin to slow down a little bit. Like when he's like talking normally, he's just gesticulating very wildly. But when he starts talking about like knowledge stuff and books, they become a lot more focused, as if he's practicing some sort of weird mental kata.
Right on. I'll take notes and do little quick doodle sketches of his movements, and then ask him, what book are you reading it currently with your book club? If you don't mind me asking. It's private.
Nothing right now. We're having dinner. But the books that I have been reading most recently, the book yesterday was about Tiamat, because there's been some Cult of the Dragon stuff happening around this area. And remember that one time when they came through and they were trying to summon Tiamat, and then they keep doing that like every 100 years or something like that. It's silly.
It's
But,
like a turn of the century ritual or something at this point.
Yes, I think it's actually becoming kind of part of our collective consciousness now that every 100 years that we must all do this meme that is summon Tiamat, Queen of Dragons, and here she is again. Kind of like that Asarak guy who never seems to ever die.
He's never quite gone, is he?
No. Remember the last time that he showed up on the face of history?
Yeah.
Something about death curse, something. I was rotting for a little bit. Resurrected 4 times. Good thing that was found, right? Bully.
And I'll just make light conversation with him, just to see what he's about.
I mean, he's an eccentric gnome who is all over the place. Somehow a monk. Somehow survived a Illithid attack. Deus Ex Machina, and keeps saying he's got brain powers, but I don't know. He's a weird guy. The lamb Wellington was pretty decent. He's a decent cook. The light of the sun is becoming more dim the longer you stay. It is getting closer to dusk. He does ask you if you wish to stay, or if you would prefer to pack up the leftover beef Wellington or lamb Wellington that he had made and go on your merry way. He can most definitely accommodate should you need to stay.
I'm all for resting here tonight if you all are comfortable.
I'm feeling very restful, and I'm still very intrigued by this gentleman. He's still so fun, and I love it. I'm not bored yet, let's say, because he's got enough to talk about.
And the cleric and our illustrious dancer, who is muted.
I was muted. Seth doesn't trust him. One, because he's getting a lot of attention, and Seth doesn't like that. Also, he had that like disgusting book, which I'm only kind of accepting one person who likes that. It's taken a while to accept 2. Finally, he keeps mentioning this Illithid. But Seth hasn't got enough answers yet. So Seth has at least 5 points in dinner. Think like, if I summon my sword, I could kill him right now. But I'm kind of tired magically. I'm watching you, gnome.
And I'm so engrossed with reading this that when the sun comes up tomorrow, I'll just be like, wait, what time is it?
Dawn. So are you not getting sleep tonight? Are you going to stay up and read the book?
I'll probably end up dozing off, because as much as it is interesting, I probably will either speed read through it, depending on how long it is, or I'll just end up like falling asleep at the table.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's a horrifying read. It is dark in abyssal, and definitely the journal of a necromancer well advanced on his way to becoming a lich. The mention of the Book of Vile Darkness appears countless times. He appears to have an obsession with the book and is looking for this artifact, and seems to have a few potential leads that he's chased over the past 200 to 300 years. The book doesn't have daily entries. It's not really even like a chronological entry. It's more the ramblings of an insane necromancer who is well on his way to becoming a lich.
And inside, I know that this is all terribly bad stuff, but it makes for such good reading.
It's juicy. It's juicy. Simon Tyber has had quite the life. You would estimate that he's been around for a couple 100 years, maybe 5, maybe 7. It's not really very easy to determine. He's been around for a bit. So, do you stay at the house that night?
I think we're all in agreement. When everyone's asleep, I'd like to. Well, most people are asleep. I'd like to try to get a moment alone with Urala and just. He's not like going to let you take that, is he?
No, that's why I'm trying to finish it before we have to go. I might just stay here while you all. No, it's probably not a good idea.
You think
We could come back.
we could?
I bet we could come back and
We
visit.
could just take it too.
No, he's. I respect his care for his books. I completely understand. After we're done, I will probably take a few days off, come back here to relax and finish what I don't finish tonight. So
Understandable. I just wanted to know where what options were closed.
and besides, I should be focused once we leave here. And we have a mission, we have something we're going to do, and if I'm too busy reading this while you're being attacked by rust monsters or skeletons or whatever, who will heal you? Not that I do that often anyway, but I mean, if you needed it or someone to animate your body, what if you died?
I agree. I'm inclined to agree.
Well, we should definitely come back and vacation all together. We could even go on pilgrimages and find more books after all this is done. I like this guy. He is fun.
Seth seemed a bit off by him, though. He seemed a bit perturbed or
It's
irritated.
true. I feel like he said something about somebody broke in and ruined the guy's bedroom and he didn't want to get blamed for it, but I felt bad because I wasn't really paying attention at the time. It was just kind of noise. Maybe I should go talk to him? Maybe you should go talk to him because I want to get back to this before, we have to go. Okay.
I'll give him a knock.
Walk over to Seth as well and just kind of huddle up. And so what's your reservations from, staying? Because you seem like you're not into it.
Have you seen the inside of that book?
No.
How about you go see the inside of that book and then we come back and have a conversation?
Well, I've been told that it's annoying whenever I read over someone's shoulder.
Just
Somebody
give
used to
it
get
a
scolded out over the monastery.
just give it a shot. It's fine. Want to make it invisible? And I'll touch him. I can't cast a spell because I'm out of spells, but you're invisible. Now go see.
You just look around. Okay.
Oh, cool.
You need to rest.
And I'll just go peer over Urala's shoulder.
I just hold it up. And Shikali, you're the only one who knows what's in that other book that I showed the gnome. So what you see in this book is probably just as shocking as what's in that other book.
That's
but
really graphic.
less on a Kama Sutra kind of way with skeletons and zombies, and more on a how to make the skeletons and zombies from Boy Scouts and how to.
It appears to be the same author.
Oh, that's really graphic. That's Oh, I shouldn't be talking. I'm invisible. I apologize.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I know. Whew. I turned the page. Oh,
that's a human pretzel. Okay.
Oh,
I
you're
understand.
right. Oh, I see.
Yeah, if you look at it, you can still see the eyes. I mean, they're shown as salt pellets here, but
that's
there's
wow, quite imaginative.
it's
There's even a diagram in there for a human beholder, in which it's just a bunch of brown eyes. Yeah.
Guys, I'll let you get back to your reading. Sorry for
God.
and I'll make my way back over to Seth. Yeah, that's
You,
hmm.
you want to stay here when that's what he's into?
Well, I mean, should we keep watch? Should we set up watch for tonight?
I
Set up
mean,
watch like last time. I'll take first watch.
if we're doing a watch anyway, then why would we do it in the belly of the beast? That's all I'm saying. So
I mean, we could be on the road down a little further. We have a map. I mean, it's up to you
I
guys.
would feel so rude if we left in the middle of the night, particularly without taking something. At least if we took something, then it would be a reason. Oh, robbery! It was very clear they were robbers. Whereas if we just left without taking anything,
So
then
you'd
we
rather
would just
be
be
a
rude.
robber than be rude?
that is brilliant.
Wouldn't you? At least a robber has a purpose. Rude people are just rude.
Well, I mean, we can just say, like, oh, look at the time. We've got to go. Let's schedule another time to meet up because you are intriguing as heck and we need to hang out. Like, this needs to continue. Or we could invite him with. What if we invited him with?
Well, no, that's still part of the problem, though. Seth, you don't want him nearby, right? He's
I don't.
into some weird stuff. Yeah.
He's
No.
too popular. At some point, we're gonna have to fight to see who the one is.
Doesn't have to be anything too big. We could all take something small. We don't want to be rude.
I don't think it's going to be rude. All right, I'm going to break away. I'm going to break away and I'm going to go talk to our host and hey, we need to we have a mission. And as much as we all would like to stay, I mean, me included, because you are fun and you are charming and there's a lot going on here and this is fabulous. This whole place
Fabulous.
is fabulous. But we have to go. And can we come back? Can we hang out?
No,
Can we all meet
of
up
course.
sometime? Because this is
Yes.
great.
You could join my book club.
That would be
Yes.
amazing. That would be amazing.
Have to be able to project yourself into the astral plane, and we meet by the portal next to the nebula, closest to the gateway to Archon.
How long do you think it would take me to learn that?
I mean, judging off of your current level of skill and control, I think I know. Are you arcane? I would say. I don't know. It's probably not bloodline. You're not bloodline. You're not a sorceress. You're like one of those wizards with a deal sort of people, aren't you?
People, yes.
I know it. I could see it. And of course, I will be more than happy to pack you a dinner to take you with you. Excuse me. It's already late. A breakfast. You can have a breakfast when you arrive wherever you're going. I would assume you're going west because that happens to be the direction. Listen in the map that your very capable cleric was drawing there.
Yes.
And do tell Seth that it's all right about the bedroom. I knew it was going to happen.
It
Happens every
wasn't me.
I'm a mind reader, you see. I can read your mind.
I know, but he's just so self-conscious. And you're just so charming. It kind of knocks him off of his game. So,
Oh, it's all right.
It's hard
It's all right.
for him.
It is a threat when I can literally read every single thought going through your mind. Yes. The way of the mind, great path. I know a lot of things that I probably shouldn't know, and that's why I like books, because only they can judge me.
I think you're great, and I think we should come back, and I want to be part of that book club. I don't know how to use that kind of magic yet, but maybe we'll
Well,
figure that out.
you ask Miss Kitty, and she'll probably show you the way. I mean,
I will.
eventually,
I will. And I'm going
probably
to
won't
like
take
very
except for made of
lovingly.
marble.
I'm going to lovingly kind of push the picture that I made over on the table. Take good care of this. This is a good first
Sure.
step, and I will endeavor to do better. I said that
He
most
thinks
likely.
it's fabulous and praises you to no end on all the amazing things about this drawing and like some sort of weird proud parent, even though there's no relation whatsoever. He parades it around the house, showing it to his books, and then putting it on like a little tiny easel, like at his study.
Like a second grader bringing a picture home to their parents.
Yeah. He's super thrilled about it. He's not doing it in a condescending way. Like he legitimately is quite thrilled to have received a drawing of this cat with a bounty. But he's taking it very personally and to heart. It tells you that you're going to be best friends, and of course you're always welcome. And as soon as you're able to either communicate interplanarly or actually project yourself, you're more than welcome to join the book club. It's a good incentive to learn. Learning is important. If you don't learn, you're dead.
That is
It's
perfect. I'm going to give a great big hug, a bosom hug again, and then let go and kind of tap all of my buddies and like, okay, it's time. It's time.
I've made the liberties of already packing you a breakfast.
Yeah.
But we'll be back so you can continue to read that book.
I'll give our gnome friend a hug and just. I do apologize about trying to figure out which one of your items to steal. It's just I didn't want to be rude.
Oh, I mean, you can take anything you wish. I don't have any particular attachments to much of anything besides my books, which
Yeah.
I would murder you for that.
Yeah, no, I figured it would be something like that. No, but
You can have a chair if you'd like a chair, or this silverware. You can have that, or perhaps this.
oh,
this
I don't
shirt.
want to intrude. Perhaps just a stool, I think.
Oh, yes.
No,
Shall
take
I
a stool.
claim that I've been robbed in
Um,
case I need to file an insurance claim?
Yes, I think that would be most beneficial for both parties. And I'll
Just push over the furniture while you're on your way out, so that if anyone comes here and uses their divination magic like they did the last time, they'll see that the object has been indeed pushed over by a ruffian, and my claim should be passed within a few months. You know how it goes down there in Waterdeep, and their insurance companies.
I'll start flipping furniture, and I won't flip the entire table, but I'll just nudge it out of the way, just so it's not aligned, and I'll start making it look like a half-assed, half-hearted robbery took place. And I will
Karen,
take my stool and just give a very deep bow and just thank you for your hospitality. And I'll just
He's just clapping as you destroy it. He's like, oh!
what is this gnome?
This is amazing. All right, I'm gonna hook arms with Seth and like let's blow this joint.
Excellent. So you all make your way out of Gimbel's cottage, somewhere at the tail end of dusk. It is dark outside. The woods are thick as you press in any direction. Where are you going, by the way, now that you are out of the cottage?
I don't know. I was
Oh,
dragged
it
out.
gives you
The map? Do we even know what direction to go
West.
for the map?
If you're following the map, it goes due west.
Off that way.
We'll get the alpacas situated and head on out. And yeah.
So you press west. About 30 minutes into your journey, it is it's a half moon. There's kind of some cloud cover. The canopies of the trees are very thick. It is dark, but the moon gives enough light to where it's dim light. There is an uneasy sense that you feel. You're a Githrazi, right? Or a Githyanki?
Githzari.
Githzari. Your Githzari senses begin to tingle. There is a familiar scent. One that you may not have necessarily been trained to notice. You have not been involved in the conflict that tears across the astral plane, like so many of your brethren. But there is a tingle, an acrid smell in the air, something familiar and something very, very hostile.
I will mention that to my fellows.
I'll put you on a map. Are you ready?
Ooh,
Sure.
go into the map.
Come on, maps.
Oh,
Let me move you to the map first. Viewing to Untitled 2. We go. Color map. Then we're going to go ahead and pull out your tokens real quick, because I totally didn't do that. So we got Dingino and Seth and Shakal and Rala. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Can you all see the map?
Yes.
Perfect. Can you see your tokens in the northeastern corner of the map?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. This is the wrong map. I'm just now realizing. Very sorry. Wrong map. Let's move you to the correct map. Back to the woods and the trail. I'm getting ahead of myself here in the story. So, the four of you. I'm going to put you back on the northwestern corner. Like so. Put yourselves in whatever order you feel like being in. Can you see this map and yourselves in the northeastern corner of this map?
Yep.
There we go. Yeah. For some reason, Shakal has two tokens or qual.
Yeah.
Let me just give.
I have no idea.
Just get rid of that. There you go. Now you should just have one token. Everyone's got one token, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
y'all.
So, as I was describing before, you have a weird tingly sensation there, Cleric.
I
Putting
will.
in what region?
What's that?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
What
Since I
region is tingling?
can't see it, I just gesture broadly to around us.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not like a paladin sense where you can like pinpoint it entirely. It's like all around.
Huh.
Well, are we close to anything else? Any other like towns or anything? We're just in the forest.
Yeah, you're in the forest. According to the map, there used to be a road that ran through here between Hillsfar and a now non-existent town called Gray something. It's probably not important exactly with the name of the town itself, but I'll give it to you anyway. Greycott. A now non-existent city called Greycott to the southwest of Hillsfar and Hillsfar itself. There is a road depicted on this map, but the road obviously has been out of use for quite some time. And you think that you may be on the remnants of this road as you're pressing west, but you're not entirely sure. None of you are a ranger, right?
Mm-mm.
Anyone with knowledge history? Like,
Uh,
proficient?
I'm
I do
proficient
have
in history.
Yeah.
Perfect. Roll me knowledge of history if you would. Boop. Oh, yeah. So, that's amazing. Yeah, you are, you're actually able to pick up as you press west, even though it's dark, even though the light is dim, you're able to pick up like small markers that otherwise look like just heavily weathered stone, but a few hundred years ago would have served as distance markers between Hillsfar and Greycott. The numbers and the words themselves have long kind of weathered away as they were marked with paint. But the markers themselves are still there, kind of tucked away in the undergrowth. So you do have a very good sense that you're probably within the realm of where this map is leading you, which is leading you to the town of Greycott.
Marilla, has that uneasy feeling gone away at all, or are you still...
No, it seems pretty there. Couldn't say where. I'm just kind of like turning and looking and trying to like listen for whatever.
That's where you gotta stop reading. All that stuff is getting in your head, and it's just
It's true. Now I'm probably just jumping at shadows.
Should
You know,
we
when it's
maybe...
in your head, zombie, oh, and then oh. Also a passage in the book, in your head, with their tanks and their guns and their bombs. Sarajevo was so unkind. So, you feel uncomfortable there, Urala, and something happened. Let me go into the DM screen and make sure that I got my measurements correct. Okay, perfect. And BAMF. Boop. And BAMFing in a cloud of smoke. BAMF. Are these two Gith Yankees? Gith Yankees. They're Yankees. They're wearing baseball hats. And that's not all. After appearing via magic, swords in hand, there is an epic roar that shakes the forest that you're traveling through. And layer token riding upon the back of a red dragon. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Hold on. Riding upon the back of a red dragon. Do you see that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Little red dragon friend? Actually, I probably should switch him.
Oh, well, if he's little, then the token's way too big. You need to make it smaller.
No, that's his real size. Not his size there. Yeah, he's large. Yeah, and this guy right here, totally on his back. And this guy right here, totally a red dragon. And the two of them, along with these guys here, look like they're going to want to eat your face. And that is where we are actually going to end this episode.
Oh,
30. Bum, bum, bum. You got the jump on you. I would after the breath weapon goes off, but we'll leave the screaming and the char for next time.
I mutter under my breath. I'm so glad we left that dangerous gnome's house.
Using the stool to shield myself.
Yeah. Red Dragon. I can't wait for this fight. It's one of my favorites in the trilogy.
Nice.
When I first read this, I was like, oh my god, that's so heavy metal. If I
Red
had the
Dragon off.
legal rights to play heavy metal like during the next fight, I would, but I don't think that that's allowed, so
Right.
I won't. Because laws and shit.
Stupid laws.
What are you gonna
Ugh.
do? What are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, we should be able to do this for our own entertainment, for education purposes. Should be able to play. You got the right to fight, to party for this next fight for educational purposes.
Right.
But yes, you have now successfully explored Gimbel's cottage. You have learned some information about Klondras, the Illithid, and have read a whole lot of necromantic porn, as well as the long-winded ramblings of a necromancer who is very keen on two things. Three. One, turn Boy Scouts into zombies. 2, become a lich. 3, Book of Wild Darkness.
Sounds legit.
And we'll pick up with Chapter 3 next Wednesday.
Nice. Bye.
Excellent.
Yeah!